button, the play button is very helpful. So for those of you on YouTube that will see this eventually, I forgot to hit the play button, but this is my Friday Features Live on Friday, January, what is it, 6th? And I'm gonna try to be posting these regularly rather than just doing pre-recorded. So I'm gonna try to grab everything. So I am live on Facebook and Instagram, I think, both right now, but I don't know. I won't know until I'm done. I really don't know what I'm doing. So hi, everyone, once again. So Shelly won the Newsday Tuesday. So congratulations to Shelly. And yeah, I haven't been to Red Lobster in forever. Darcy says, eat a cheddar biscuit for me. Gosh, we don't go there as a family because our daughter is allergic to shellfish. So we would only be able to go there if it was without her. So it's been a long time since we actually forget about Red Lobster. So then we have a winner also, Miss Joey Marone, which I think I saw you on as well. You are our Friday Features winner from the last time that I was live for Friday Features. So you are getting the $5 credit to the shop for commenting on that post way back. It feels like forever since then. So without further ado, which one should I start with? I think I'll start with Happiness is Homemade. So this, if you're new, or if I am broadcasting to Instagram, I don't know if I am or not, to be honest, or any YouTube people, we have 2 subscription boxes. One is called Happiness is Homemade, and we have only sent 2 monthly projects so far. It's that new, so we've only gotten through 2, and I will tell you that month 3 for February is all sitting up in my kitchen right now in boxes on my kitchen floor. And then we also have Boxed Up, which has been around for 3 years. But recently, when Happiness is Homemade was born, we decided that you could do this one, which is a lower price point. This is a $27 a month subscription, and then Boxed Up is the $49.97 a month, the bigger subscription. But you can also subscribe to both and save just under $5 by subscribing to both, and that's called our Creators Combo Box. So the Creators Combo people got this inside of this for December. So let me show you what was in, for those of you that don't know, what was in the Happiness is Homemade. So I think I have to do this a little bit. There. Good, yeah, congratulations, Joey. Okay. I forgot about the cheddar biscuits, Darcy. I totally forgot about those. I think the nearest, we would have to go to either, there goes our furnace again. So I'm sorry if it's harder to hear me. It is cold down here. I guess I have this tied in a knot. I think we have to go to either Butler. Is there still one on McKnight Road, way down McKnight Road? I think we would have to go to, those are our closest ones. Okay, so right off the bat, outside of all of this is a thing of application sponges, some sandpaper, and a little super glue. And then we open this up, and there is some gingham ribbon in black and white. There's a snowflake and a heart. Snowflake and heart, snowflake and heart. 2 pieces of gingham ribbon. Some stencils. There's a little snowman face. And then there's letters that spell SNW, like for snow, and LVE, like for love. Piece of really super soft fleece in this wintry neutral pattern. And then inside are 4 cut blocks. 3 of them are 5-inch blocks and 1 of them is 4 inches. And all of that together, now I can't, there's 2 different ways that they could have made this project. And we actually have, not only is this open to new members, Happiness is Homemade is open to new members. Right now, We are accepting new members, but we also, for the first time, have 2 extra projects. So we have 2 extras of these that will be in the shop as soon as this is done and available, except the extra boxes are slightly higher. They're marked up by $10. If you're a subscriber, they're $27, but if you are a non-subscriber and want to buy one of the extra boxes, if and when we have them, they're $37. And then if you need shipping, there would be shipping on top of that. So here's what it does. So one way, now I don't know, is this backwards to you? Probably. But you'll get the hint, or you'll get the gist. So one way you can do it, is that right from your end? Because it's backwards for me. But technically it's supposed to be S-N-O-W. So that's one way, that's the one side. So this is a reversible project, and the fleece, I show everybody how to make this little fleece hat. So one thing they could do with that snowman stencil was to actually make the face. But then there was the snowflake in there as well. So if members didn't want to actually have that hat or have him be a snowman, they could use their snowflake. They could paint it, stain it, leave it neutral, whatever, and they could put that snowflake for the O and just have it say snow with that as the O. Because on the other side, the love side, that is how it is. So there is a heart. This is a 3-dimensional heart that I showed you in that bag, and there's the ribbon. So there were 2 pieces of ribbon in case you wanted to put the ribbon at the top of the 3-dimensional pieces on either side. So it's a reversible blocks project. One is for Valentine's and one is for winter overall. So you can just flip them around. So we don't provide the paint. We started doing that at the beginning, but after so many boxes and giving you a whole thing of paint, then we kind of started running out of colors, and then we also started running into issues with, winter months, especially now that people are picking up and I have the things stored outside. We don't want that stuff to freeze, and we really just wanted everyone to have their choice of what color they wanted to use so that you don't have an abundance of that. And then that allowed us to give, a little bit more of other stuff in your project itself. And we don't want those things bursting inside of your box. We've heard of other subscriptions that have had that issue multiple times. So we just decided we're gonna stop doing the paint. And we stopped doing that in all of our kits. Also because it became just an inventory thing. I mean, this is my basement and it is packed full of stuff. So I have to start picking and choosing what things I can actually store. But anyway, that is our Happiness is Homemade box. That is our subscription, and we will put the link in the comments for Facebook. If I am in fact on Instagram, and I'm sorry I seem so clueless about this, but this is the first time I've ever tried doing both at once, all through my Facebook business manager. So I really don't know how to tell if I am on Instagram or not, because I can see people are watching that I don't recognize as much, so I'm not sure if that's where they are. But if you are seeing this on Instagram, there's a link in my bio. If you use that link in my bio, it will take you to the place where you can subscribe to, I don't remember if it's a general subscribe button. When you click that link, it takes you to a whole bunch of other links. It will either have the 2 subscriptions separated, or it has one place that will lead you to all of the subscriptions. But you can get to it all from the link in my bio. So I kind of want to put this hat back on him because I'm so darn cold down here. And every time I come down here, my nose starts to run because it's so cold. I'm like, the poor little snowman needs his little hat back on. So anyway, that is our Happiness is Homemade. Now, and the other thing I need to clarify too is that was January's box. So our boxes are all a mystery. So members do not know ahead of time what they're getting. And there's the link Darcy just put in for you guys down on in the Facebook comments. But members do not know what they're getting ahead of time. So it's kind of like a surprise treat that comes to their door every month, or that they can pick up at one of 2 locations if you're local to the Pittsburgh area. And we try to wait until all of our ship members, of all the people that require shipping, till all of those boxes have been delivered, sometime within the 1st to the 10th, to reveal the projects to everybody else. And then once we reveal the project, we put the extras available in the shop. So today is the last Friday I can do it before the cart closes on the 10th. So we open the cart every month from the 1st to the 10th to anybody new who wants to come in. Because by the 10th, then we kind of have to shut it all down because we need to know exactly our numbers. So we've already pretty much ordered everything, but we need to like double down and make sure that we have exactly the right number of things. So when you subscribe, if you subscribe in January right now before the 10th, your first box will be February box. And it goes out on the 1st or is usually available like on the 1st. I'm not currently live on Instagram. Dang, well, I don't know why, because it let me click. Do you want to go live on Facebook and Instagram? And I did. I knew it was too easy. Oh, well, but thank you for checking that, Tori. Oh, well, I tried. I don't know, maybe I'll be able to share it. I guess I can take my YouTube one and share it over there. I tried. So I'll have to look into that and see what am I doing wrong. I knew it was too easy. Okay, so for boxed up, let's come back down here. So for the other box, here's the typical project card. That is what you get. It has a QR code to take you to the videos and everything, and there's information in there. So if you're a boxed up member, you need to read this because it's where you have your code for the Maker's Market, because boxed up members get a 10% off code. So don't forget to look for that. This came with 2 different ribbons, a buffalo check, and then there was a variation of a Valentine. They weren't all the same. Some were more red and white, some were a combination. There's some twine, some thick twine. There's an actual piece of wire in there. Some sponges, some more twine, a piece of sandpaper, and this piece of greenery. Plus, they also got a snowflake, wooden snowflake, and then 2 little ice skate, wooden laser cut ice skates. And then on the bottom, I'm trying to be better at putting this all back as I go so that it doesn't sit around all undone until the next week. So here's the main background with 2 holes here. This is 16-inch round. And the stencils that say Hello Valentine is one of them. They could do warm winter wishes, or they could do welcome with or without the snowflake, the stencil snowflake. They could use the snowflake in place of the stencil, and then they could add other snowflakes. But we wanted this to be a reversible option, just like the other project. So that's what came in the box. And if you have a question about anything, please put it in the comments so I can make sure I answer it. Now, this is the one side. So this is a door hanger. It doesn't have to hang on the door. It can hang off of, I actually just did a video yesterday that I plan to use next week sometime on how I style my blanket ladder. So this doesn't have to hang on a door. This could hang off of something like a blanket ladder, off of an inside door. There's lots of different, you could prop it up somewhere. You don't have to use the twine. You could put it in a stand and use it like on your hearth. But there's holes in case you do want to use it as a door hanger. So I did mine in black and white. The greens are tucked back here. And then I had the little skates kind of just hanging down underneath of the ribbon and everything. So that was the one side. I chose to do my whole thing in white this time. I've been alternating kind of between white and early American, but warm winter wishes. So the one that I did not do was the welcome that had the snowflake. Now, I just have this tucked in here for now and not totally attached because I wanted to be able to flip it over and show, and you could put this in either way. But to be able to use it on both sides, I show everybody kind of how you can use the wire and tuck it in Now mine, I did have one that had the Valentine ribbon. Where did it go? I put it in the box. So remember there was a Valentine ribbon also, and I layer that. I thought I had that one sitting here. But anyway, you could use your own ribbon if you wanted. You could add a different ribbon in. You could layer the ribbon that came with this over top and then match your paint with it. But hello Valentine. And then you could always do something with your skates as well on this side. So this is my reversible door hanger for winter. Rather than doing a bow on both sides, I just wanted to flip it, be able to flip it, because if you have the bow on both sides, then it's not going to lay flat against the door, obviously, or wherever you have it. So that is our January project, and we have 2 extras of this also, only 2 this month. So 2 extras of Boxed Up, 2 extras of Happiness is Homemade, and I think, so Darcy put the link to, I believe that's the link to the actual subscribe if you want to subscribe, correct Darcy? And then in the shop under Friday features today, we will have the extras of both available. So every month we'll put those extras in, and you can start by looking under Friday features. But they will also be under that subscription page as far as I remember. I think if you go to the subscription page, it also has a place for extra boxes. I think that's kind of a new thing, so I forgot to mention that earlier. I don't want to forget about this. Back in the box. So that's, as far as the subscription goes, I think everything I need to say. But if you have a question, please be sure to ask. I figured there would be more questions from the people on Instagram if I was on Instagram, because I never go on there, so they wouldn't know as well unless you follow me on both. But I guess I don't have to worry about that, right? So the next thing I wanted to mention, it's going to be kind of hard for me to pick this up, but I brought this down from my mantle because I wanted to show you. We had like these extra fancy, I call them fancy snowflakes. These are smaller and fancier than the other snowflakes that I just showed you in both boxes. They're more delicate. Like some of them are really delicate, like these little ones here, but super cute. And I just took some fishing line and I packaged them in packages of 6. So they're in the Maker's Market right now. As a pack of 6, I think it's $3.99. I have about 8 sets of them. Now, this is the key. Well, actually, first, let me show you the easier one, so I think. So this is what I have on one of my console tables in the living room. And for you Happiness is Homemade people, let me put this down a little bit. You can see that I also put my spindles in here just for something else to show you. So this is from the last box. This is part of our last box, these spindles here. I would like to try a little project where I make some snowballs out of some remaining styrofoam balls that I have over there on my shelves, and I might use those in here, but for now these work just as fine too. So this is like one of those crates. Let me put this down a little bit more. I think I got this at Michael's, but it's been several years. But it's a crate and it's divided. So in the back behind this heart is where I normally keep like some decorating books that are just out all year long. So I just kind of prop this heart up in there, and then I brought back out some of my little trees and stuck the spindles in there. But if you can see, I put some of the little snowflakes because when I packaged them up for the Maker's Market, I had like an odd number left. So I just stuck them in here to kind of show you that you can just place them in some greenery as well. So that's an option. This is actually really heavy. I don't think I want to put it back down there. And then what I did on my mantle, these are attached. These are kind of attached because I have these beads going around both. But I used some fishing line and I attached them to these droopy, I don't know what these are called. I got these at Joann not that long ago. And I love them. They're like, I don't know how to describe them. They're very soft and they look wintry to me. But what I didn't know, I had them in my bathroom for Christmas. And when I took them out, I thought, I'm going to move them to the living room. They shed. They're like these little hairs, green hairs that fall all over the place. So they shed. So every little movement, I'm going to have them all over the place here. But I just took some fishing line so that you don't see it very prominently, and I hung them from there. So on my mantle, that was the picture that I posted this morning. It's kind of hard to see in the picture, but hopefully you could kind of get an idea of how they looked. So I put the remaining ones in the Maker's Market too. It's a good like add-on item if there's something else that you want, because I know shipping, you know, anything up to like 5 pounds or the first flat rate shipping is like $10. So I know that's probably more of an add-on item if you have some other stuff in your cart that you're going to want to get. So, but we have, I think, 8 sets of those. And what was the other? I don't think I got to the other yet. So those are just 2 options where you could use them. But of course you could use them on, like gluing them onto other things and such, just like our other snowflakes. So let's make sure, you know, Denise, that crate, I think I got 3 crates when I got that. Like I said, it's been several years, but I got a red one that sits on top of my son's tall dresser, and it holds some of his stuff. And again, like some of his stuffed animals can kind of prop up in it, or books or whatever. And then I have a blue one too that is actually, it's organizing some stuff for me. But I found them, and it's one of those things that I'm like, oh gosh, you can use these for so many different things. So I probably should have only stuck with 2, but I ended up with 3. And there goes the heat again. So then finally, I wanted to show you another, so remember back in, what month was that? October? When we did the, you can see it all on the YouTube video, but you can't see it all over here. We did the banner projects. And at that point, I put all of these extra pieces and such. We had triangles and these and pumpkins and leaves, and we put them all in the Maker's Market. Well, today I added the hearts, the extra hearts that we had from one of the boxes. I put them in there. We don't have a ton of them, but they're packed. I think they're in, I think they're sets of 5. They're either sets of 4 or 5. I think they're sets of 5 at a time. But I chose to take one of, you would have to get 2 packs. I did 7, but we have these backgrounds here in the Maker's Market. We have lots of those. We just don't have quite as many hearts. But I decided to take the backgrounds and stain them. And then the hearts, rather you could paint them, which is what I was going to do at first. But I ended up having this pack. I don't know how I got lucky. I had this whole pack of Valentine paper, and there were all kind of colors. I was trying to get, I'm having an internal struggle right now with the whole winter Valentine decor process right now, because one side of my brain is saying, just keep it neutral, just keep it greens and whites and fuzzy stuff. And then the other side of me is like, yeah, but then like you always end up putting up Valentine's stuff at the last second, because I'm never really very inspired to decorate for Valentine's. It's just never been one of those holidays that I'm always like, yay, let's decorate for Valentine's. But then like right before Valentine's, I'm like, oh, I should get some stuff out. And then it's always real last minute, and it's out for like a week, and I took the time to get some stuff out and then put it back. So this year I thought I'm gonna do my tree. So if you didn't see that post yesterday, I did my Valentine tree. So I at least have that, but I'm still struggling. I have some pink pillow covers, a couple pink blankets. I've tried to keep them on the more pale side, but then I have little pops of red, and part of me is like, you should have just left the red in some cases, because you can change out the blaring Christmas red stuff, or wordy, like things that say Christmas, and swap it out for Valentine's. So now I'm kind of like, my living room looks like I can't make up my mind, because I can't. So the only thing that's really been established is my tree. I will figure that out this weekend, but since I do have mostly pinks, I decided to go with more of the pinks. Some of them have a little bit of a red in them. So I thought, okay, well, if I put the pops of red in, it should go. So I will add this in the reel that I did of me doing this in super fast motion that I will post. I don't know if I can post it on Facebook or not, but it will definitely be over on Instagram. You'll be able to see how I made it. I just basically took the scrapbook paper, traced it, and glued it on with Mod Podge to each of the hearts, and then I super glued each heart onto the background, and then I hot glued a little bow that I made for each one to the heart itself, and then I threaded the twine, some twine through, and hung it up with command hooks on my mantle just to get a picture. But if you watch the reel, I do have a final picture, and I'm sure I'll post at least a picture of it, even if I can't get the reel. The thing about the reels on Instagram is when you make the reel, you have to use music, but you can't, the music doesn't transfer over to Facebook because of, you know, copyright and all of that. So I hate to just post the reel without the music. So one way or another, you'll see the picture anyway. But that's the project I did with the scrapbook paper. And I'm sure, I mean, I used like one 1/1000th of the paper that is in that booklet of Valentine paper. So if you were able to just get like a couple of double-sided papers, you would really only need a couple if you didn't mind switching like the back side and the front side and just cutting out of maybe 2 sheets from a store. It's a little bit easier and more, what's the word? Than just painting them. Like just painting them pink and red or white or whatever color I would have chosen with the ribbon would have been fine too. But there's so many pretty patterns out there in terms of scrapbook paper. And it's super easy just to glue them on with Mod Podge. Brush some on and press it on. So then the only other project that I had thought I would try to show you today was those snowballs, but I didn't get around to that. That's like a nighttime kind of, let me just give it a shot, trying to maybe wrap those white styrofoam balls with maybe some yarn or something like that, or dipping them in something, I don't know, to maybe replace the actual other everyday ball decor things that I have in there so that it looks more wintry. So I don't know, this weekend I need to have this internal fight stop between, do I want Valentine's out or do I want just the neutrals? I'm just really liking my mantle right now, which just has the neutrals and the greens. And that is where I'm struggling because I normally have to have color. But for some reason this year, I'm like, I'm kind of embracing or feeling like enjoying the calmness of losing all of that red and white and but it usually when that happens, it doesn't last long. I did try just doing that one year, all whites and neutrals just for winter. And by the time I put my yellow back out, I was like, I can't wait to get my yellow. I need some color. So knowing me, I don't know how long I can actually go with that. But right now I'm really liking my mantle. Last couple of things. Sign project. Oh, I'm going to have a sign project in my entry. So if you've been following along and you remember the signs that I put on our photo ledges up in our entry, and I used them and made the piece, P-E-A-C-E, one for each ledge. I'm going to be flipping them over and doing something on the other side so that I don't have to store them away, along with a million other things that I made that I have to store away and get in the attic. I want to be able to flip them over and have the other side be all year long and then flip them back over when it comes time to decorate again next year. So I might do that live sometime this weekend. Whenever I get to working on it, I'll just go live and work on it while you watch if you want to watch. Otherwise, I have a bunch of projects. So I'm going to be trying to do more of the videos and more like tutorials on how I'm doing them. I have the kids' bathroom is coming first. I am really anxious. For me, and I know a lot of you say, you know, where do you get the energy? Don't you ever take a break? Well, it's just, for me, it's like, if there's anything going on, anything stressful, anything I'm worried about, anything that's not, if life is all fine and dandy, no matter what, I have to have a project. It's just something I have to do. So it's not about being like, okay, I'm doing all of these things. That makes me better than anyone else. It's just something I have to have, that DIY. And that's why I love these subscription boxes so much. If you know, you know. If you're like me, you know. It's like my therapy for everything and anything, but it's also, even if there's everything is right with everything, I still want to do DIY. So I have my kids' bathroom. That is on the agenda for some updates. And then I have a brick project. Now I know I did the floor in here last spring, right about the time when Facebook went haywire. I did my porch last summer. Those were stencil brick projects. This brick project is actually going to be a wall project in a totally different manner. I've also done that paneling in our guest room. That was the first thing we did to make the faux brick look. This is going to be completely different. I'm planning to start trying that in my stairwell, because that's where you would see it the least. So if I totally screw it up, you won't really be able to see it very well in the stairwell going downstairs. But that is the second project that I have in mind. I have a whole bunch of ideas this year that I hope to be able to get to and or have in the budget to be able to get to. So I will document it all and try to keep you posted on all those things. But DIY and all these projects and decorating is just like, if I motivate myself. Like if I say today for work, by the time it's time to go get the kids, I have to get these things done. And if I have any time while the kids are off doing their activities or whatever, then I get to such and such, like start something in the bathroom. Well, it hasn't happened yet because we haven't had any time in the evenings, but I'm hoping maybe this weekend I'll be able to start. So anyway, if you're still here, sticking around, thank you. I'm gonna go finish what's on my list for today so that I can get to those projects this weekend. So Boxed Up is open if you want to subscribe. Happiness is Homemade is open if you want to subscribe. You can cancel anytime. So it's not like if you try it for a month and you don't like it, as long as you cancel before your next payment comes out, you don't have to commit to anything. So if you want to do something for yourself, it's a great, both of them are kind of if you're like me, a great way to like get your DIY fix. But our extras will be available in the shop, and I've added the snowflakes and the hearts to the Maker's Market. All right, we'll be back soon. Thanks, everybody. Have a great, great weekend. Stay safe out there on the roads, and I hope everybody stays healthy. Bye. Thanks. If you made it all the way to here, you will realize that I was live on Facebook, and that was the recording. We would love it if you would subscribe here on YouTube. Follow us over there on Facebook at My Home Matters LLC, and My Home Matters is also on Instagram and Pinterest at my_home_matters. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much.